Are you asking your money to do a job that it functionally cannot do? This reminds me of a client story that I need to tell you. Hey everyone, I'm Andrew. I'm the owner of Lever Wealth Management, which is the financial advisor for people who scare financial advisors. And what I do is I take the learnings from the thousands of iterations I've had with ultra high net worth and high net worth investors, and I give them to you so that you can apply them to your own life. Today I want to talk about a client of mine that I helped throughout the years and came to a realization about money, which again, let's start with the end in mind. Many times we give money a job it functionally cannot do. What do I mean by that? This client of mine was entrepreneurial by nature. And when they started out, they, like somebody who's fiscally conservative, they had decided I'm going to save a pile of money and I'm going to live off that while I start this new venture. And well, they start the venture and they start pulling down from their assets, and the venture goes better than they thought it would. They then get to a point where they're making even more than they had made. They get to a point where they're making six figures. And they had thought at this point, this is where I'm going to feel secure. They continue to grow the business. About 2 years later, they're making close to $500,000 a year. They get to the point where they're making $500,000 a year and they're still not feeling secure. 2 years later, they have a liquidity event. They sell the business. And then overnight, they're worth 8 figures. And they came in and they talked to me and they said, Andrew, I'm still concerned. There's not enough. And you can jeer at them or laugh at them, but the fact is, there is never enough. Because we cannot give money a job it's functionally designed not to do. Money cannot give you security in your life. It can do other things. It is a tool, but it cannot give you security. And many times those of us who have grown larger net worths, especially if it's something that you have grown from zero to an exponentially larger figure, I ask people this all the time. Hey, what's your first memory of money? People will say something like, I remember there not being enough. I vowed that wasn't going to happen to me. And they get really good at some skill and they end up building a net worth. But the irony, the grand irony in all of this is the net worth that they built doesn't give them the security that they had wanted. Buying the new things give you a little spurt of happiness. Then as you move up the social ladder, it goes from being the BMW and the golf club membership to something much larger, like the second home, to now it's not just a second home, but we need a second home and we need a place in the mountains. And I'm not saying that having a second home or a place in the mountains is bad, not at all. But buying things for the sake of buying things because you think it's going to make you happy is foolish. We cannot give money a job it's functionally not designed to do. And yet now this client who's worth 8 figures, middle 8 figures, he and I were talking recently and he said, Andrew, I wish I could shout it from the rooftops. Money's never going to make you happy. Money's never going to be enough. Money's never going to give you the security you long for, and it's never going to give you joy in your life. It can buy you time. It can buy you freedom to do other things that you find meaningful, right? If you've saved for retirement, you can spend more time with your grandchildren. Fantastic. You can travel to the places you and your spouse have always wanted to travel to. Great. You can buy that second mountain house because you love being in the mountains and it fills your soul up. Do what gives you life, but don't expect money to be the thing that gives you life. That number, the bigger it gets, does not make you happier. And it's hard to believe it whenever you feel like you don't have enough. But the truth of the matter is, whenever we're thinking like that, we will never have enough. Until next time, thanks everyone. See y'all.